After 10 years of marriage, my wife heartlessly aborted our child for her first love. She said she wanted to empty her womb to give her first love's child a clean uterus. She forced me to divorce, demanding I let her be with her first love. But a massive earthquake sent us all back to our wedding day 10 years ago. This time, she canceled the wedding without hesitation and ran toward her first love in the audience. I didn't stop her, choosing instead to respect and bless her decision. Who would have thought that later at my wedding with the female CEO of H City? She completely lost it. She cried her heart out, begging me to give her another chance. George, you're not really getting married, are you? At the rehearsal for my wedding with the female CEO from H City, Lily stood there in a high-end custom dress, looking at me with a mocking expression. I was holding the rehearsal list, checking off the attendees. Seeing her, for a moment I thought I was at our wedding 10 years ago. Back then, we had just been reborn. Without even glancing at me, she ran straight to her first love in the audience. She hugged Tom and kissed him passionately. I want to make up for the regrets of my past life. Women should marry for love. I will absolutely never marry George. A marriage without love is like an expired cake, disgusting and nauseating. These were her words at the time. At that time, I was physically and mentally exhausted, my heart as cold as ashes, because she had ruthlessly aborted our 3-month-old child, despite my desperate attempts to stop her. In my past life, upon learning of this, I dropped everything at work, ran through over a dozen red lights, and nearly got into a car accident. Over the phone, I pleaded with her in utter desperation. Lily, I'm begging you. My parents died in the line of duty, and I've been an orphan since childhood. Please keep this child, okay? But Lily didn't hesitate for a second before refusing over the phone. She said, Tom is back. I must give his child a clean womb. It's what I owe him. Telling you I'm going to abort this time is just to teach you a lesson. Don't try to tie me down with marriage and children. Lily's words still seemed to echo in my ears. Now, seeing her again, I suddenly realized that 5 years have passed since we were reborn. Why aren't you saying anything? You're not thinking of faking a marriage to make me regret it, are you? You cunning man, your tricks are truly laughable. Lily muttered to herself as she pulled out an invitation from her bag. Even went out of your way to send me a wedding invitation? George, don't delude yourself. You're even more unworthy of me now. How utterly confident. I sized up Lily from head to toe and finally understood where her confidence came from. Ever since she called off our engagement, she and Tom have been investing in companies together. Relying on the extra memories from her past life, she and Tom have been thriving effortlessly. Now he's the big boss of a listed company. However, I didn't pay her any attention. Reaching out to take the invitation from her hand, I chuckled lightly. This was meant for your parents. Must have gotten mixed up. Lily's perfect expression shattered as she let out a cold laugh. George, how could I not recognize when you're lying? You just want to stage a fake wedding to make me regret it, don't you? Well, you're going to be disappointed. I don't regret it one bit. I couldn't care less whether Lily regrets it or not. All I know is that I don't regret it one bit. I handed the invitation back to her again. Since you're so convinced this is a sham marriage, you're welcome to attend the official wedding in 5 days. Lily didn't take the invitation, just looked at me mockingly. George, do you like me that much? Throwing a fake wedding to get my attention? You've succeeded. Lily was as confident as ever, even to the point of arrogance. Before I could speak, she laughed smugly again. I know exactly what you're like. For you to go this far for me is already quite an effort. Come to Gbar tonight to find me, and I might consider making you my lover. But before she could finish speaking, she was slapped across the face by Lily's father, who had just arrived. You! How dare you show your face at George's wedding? Get out! We don't have a daughter like you. As soon as Lily's father finished speaking, he clutched his chest with trembling fingers. Why should I leave? George also agreed to cancel the wedding back then, so why am I the only one being blamed? Lily covered her cheek, the haughty pretense in her eyes gone. Tears welled up in her eyes as she instinctively looked at me. She used to pout and come to me whenever she did something wrong, wanted me to comfort her and stand up for her. But now it's different. I have someone else in my heart whom I want to protect for a lifetime, and those 10 years have worn away the last bit of love I had for her. So this time, I didn't even glance her way. He directly supported Lily's father as they walked towards the lounge. After arriving at the lounge, Lily's father held my hand, his eyes filled with regret. "George, it's all our fault. We almost ruined your life. If you never got married, how could we ever face your parents?" This had always been a sore spot for Lily's parents. I was just about to say a few words of comfort when my phone suddenly rang. "Is it Mary calling? Hurry and answer it. She's busy with work. Tell her not to worry. The wedding rehearsal is going smoothly." Lily's father smiled and pushed me out of the lounge. I walked to the corner of the hallway, my lips curling into an involuntary smile. "Reporting to my dear wife, today's rehearsal went smoothly, so don't worry." She laughed even more joyfully on the other end, and I heard her clear, ringing laughter. "All right, I still have a few projects to sign off on here. I'll come pick you up once I'm done." She finished speaking, lowering her voice. "Stop talking." I couldn't even suppress the smile on my lips, and my subordinates saw it. All the authority I usually maintain is gone. "You have to make it up to me tonight. Honey, see you later." After hanging up the phone, the smile on my lips hadn't faded yet when I turned around and saw Lily. "George, I never realized you were such a good actor, even capable of playing the role of a fake woman. Are you regretting it now? Shouldn't have agreed to cancel our wedding so quickly back then." She spoke to herself, but her eyes betrayed a hint of panic. I feel inexplicably irritated. We were both reborn, and she got her first love. Now why is she pestering me again? Suppressing the anger in my heart, I emphasize once more. "I'm really getting married, Lily. I love her deeply. She's the woman I've been searching for my entire life." With those words, I brushed past her, yet she clung desperately to my sleeve. This time, her tone was no longer arrogant, but instead softened with humility. "George, we lived together for 10 years. Even in the final moment of death, you chose to protect me without hesitation. I don't believe you don't love me. George, Tom and I didn't get married. You still have a chance." "I still have a chance?" I couldn't help but let out a laugh from the corner of my mouth. During the major earthquake back then, I did choose to protect her. It was a habit formed over many years, not because I still loved her. I didn't want to explain and slowly pull my sleeve away. Then I slowly walked to the hotel entrance to wait for my wife to pick me up. But I didn't wait for my wife, I waited for Lily. She pulled up in front of me in a red Maserati. "George, believe it or not, over these 5 years, I've realized I have some feelings for you. I can give you another chance to get back together with me. Also, I canceled your wedding tomorrow." Hearing that the wedding was canceled, I couldn't help but feel my blood boil. "Lily, what gives you the right to cancel my wedding?" Lily stepped out of the car with a smile. "You've achieved what you wanted. I'm considering getting back together with you." "Then why did you still go through with a fake wedding? I know you're unemployed right now. Don't push yourself. Holding a fake wedding will only put you in debt." "My parents are really something, actually going along with your nonsense." Lily thinks she's so clever, so full of herself. I laugh in frustration, only to hear her speak up again. "Not to criticize, but you could at least have picked a different name for your fake marriage partner." "Who is Mary?" "She's the famous female CEO of H City. How could she possibly be interested in you?" After saying that, she handed me a business card. "Here's my phone number and my company's address. I'm currently running a business with Tom, so we can't make our relationship public for now, but I can compensate you. What kind of car do you want? I'll buy it for you." I didn't take the business card, just looked at her calmly and spoke slowly. "Do you really know who I'm marrying?" Lily smiled indifferently. "Mary, a female CEO worth billions. How could she possibly like you, let alone marry you?" But as soon as she finished speaking, the sound of a speeding car came from behind. Then came a loud bang. Her red Maserati was sent flying over 10 meters away. A woman stepped out from a black Rolls-Royce. With fiery red lips and a white suit accentuating her figure, she walked step by step in her high heels. "Who I like? Do I need to report to you? What the hell are you?" Lily turned around with a dark expression, ready to curse, but swallowed her words when she saw who had arrived. President Mary? What brings you here? My wife didn't speak, her pretty cherry blossom lips pressed tightly together. I knew she was angry. I'd seen her angry before. Back then, she was in a video conference at home, leaving her subordinates speechless with her reprimands. This was exactly the same expression she wore now. Every time she finishes being angry, she comes back into my arms, whining and looking up at me for a kiss. I helplessly rub my forehead, feeling like I might have to coax her for a long time tonight. Say something. What are you, that I have to report to you who I like? Lily hesitated before finally speaking. Mary, is there some misunderstanding? Who you like is naturally none of my business, but this George, you don't know, I actually canceled our wedding with him back then. Now he's deliberately holding a fake wedding to provoke me, trying to get me back with him. Enough. My wife glared, her eyes filled with authority. That George you dismiss as worthless is the man I've been dreaming of for years. If I hear you slander him one more time, you can disappear from H-City. You know I have the power to make that happen. Lily's eyes were filled with shock and disbelief. She looked at me, her gaze deep with resentment and incredulity. George, are you really getting married? How could you marry someone else? You can only love me. Have you forgotten how you risked your life to protect me back then? Lily was hysterical, screaming wildly. I looked at her calmly, without a trace of emotion in my eyes. Lily, that's all in the past. From the moment our wedding was canceled, I knew I wouldn't regret it. I've never liked looking back. There are too many sights along the way, and you were just one of them. I prefer to look ahead. I stopped loving you long ago. You should understand that. Lily's eyes burned with desperation as she stepped forward, trying to grab my hand, but I dodged her. George, I don't believe you don't love me anymore. This is all fake, isn't it? It's just a show you and Mary put on, right? She cried, tears streaming down her face. I sighed, feeling emotionally exhausted. Suddenly, my wife grabbed my arm and pressed her red lips against mine. George, I don't like her. I'm angry. After my wife finished speaking, her red lips pressed against mine as she actively pried open my mouth. Her tongue slipped in like a snake. I had no choice but to wrap my arm around her waist, gradually deepening the kiss. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Lily looking furious, biting her lip tightly as she glared at me. Only after my wife and I finished the passionate kiss did she extend her fair, slender hand to wipe the liquid from the corner of my mouth. Now do you still think I'm acting? Lily, people should know their place. George would choose a woman like me over you. What are you thinking? Don't daydream in broad daylight. Lily's eyes visibly dimmed as she pointed at me with trembling lips. George, I regret it. I was wrong. Will you forgive me? We can go back to how we were before. I'll love you properly, and we can even have a child together. Mentioning a child brings to mind the image of that fully formed girl from my memories. My fingers clenched tightly, and it took deep breaths to suppress the anger rising in my heart. That child was placed in such a small bag back then. She was so pitiful. Yet it was all because of Lily's selfishness. Now Lily still shows not a trace of remorse, and I suddenly feel utterly exhausted. After my parents died in the line of duty, Lily's parents took great care of me, so I've known Lily since childhood. We went to school together, and I accompanied her through her entire adolescence. I thought we would continue like this until eventually getting married, having children, and forming an ordinary yet happy family. I even gave up my dream of police academy for her back then. I had originally intended to follow my parents' path of serving the people, but it was Lily who tearfully told me, George, please don't go to the police academy, okay? I'm afraid I'll lose you. Back then, I was young and naive, thinking Lily loved me. She didn't want to lose me. It wasn't until a class reunion that I found out it was just a bet between Lily and a few classmates. They bet that I would do anything for Lily, mocking me at the reunion for being her lapdog. I froze on the spot, while Lily just smiled indifferently. At that time, we had just gotten married not long ago. She publicly humiliated me and was flirting with Tom. In my memory, Lily has caused me so much pain that I unconsciously clench my fists. George, what's wrong? My wife's sweet voice appeared as she looked at me with concern, her eyes filled with nothing but me. I snapped out of it and smiled, gently squeezing her hand. Honey, I'm sorry, I was lost in thought. Let's go. I took my wife's hand and left without even glancing at Lily. I only heard in the evening that Lily was screaming and yelling like a madwoman. But none of this has anything to do with me. The most important thing right now is that my wife is angry. Not long after she got home, she went straight to the study, closed the door, and didn't say a word. She didn't even eat dinner. Mr. George, the mistress says she doesn't want to eat. Mrs. Smith looked at me helplessly. Mrs. Smith, you may go home first. After speaking, I returned to the bedroom, grabbed my coat and phone, opened the door, and walked out. I went to a nearby supermarket and bought a lot of groceries. By the time I carried the bags back to the car, Lily called. George, I miss you. Can you come find me? I'm at Gbar. I scoffed and hung up on her, then immediately blocked her number. But the moment my phone screen went dark, it lit up again. After reading the message that came through, I frantically started my car and sped toward Gbar. Gbar is the largest bar in H City. Actually, it's not exactly a bar because many powerful and influential people in H City come here. It's more like a center for power and pleasure exchanges. As soon as I arrived at Gbar, I saw Lily. George, you came after all. You just can't let me go. I know you still love me. She stumbled toward me, drunk, but I dodged her embrace. George, over here. Auntie is here. I rushed over in a panic, but Lily grabbed my sleeve tightly. George, don't go. I yanked my sleeve free, but her female subordinate beside her gave me a malicious look. Isn't this George? What's the matter? You come all the way here yourself, still playing hard to get. A man can't have it both ways. If you want to be our Miss Lily's secret lover, you'd better act the part. Hurry up and drink this glass of wine. Consider it an apology to Miss Lily. She handed me a glass of wine. I didn't take it, just stared coldly at Lily. Lily, stop bothering me like this. My patience has its limits. Suddenly sober, Lily took the glass and drank it herself. Then she grabbed my tie and tried to kiss me. I shoved her to the ground with a thud. What are you doing? What the hell? How dare you push Miss Lily? Lily's companions helped her up, and I looked at her again. My eyes were cold. I'm here to pick up my wife. Please know your place. And from now on, Gbar is not welcome to you. Lily's female subordinate was making a fuss. What the hell? Gbar doesn't welcome us. Aren't you just an unemployed bum? What's with the attitude? Just because Miss Lily still has some affection for you. To such people, I scoffed and walked away without a word. But Lily, still dazed, grabbed the hem of my pants. George, don't go. I violently kicked her hand away. At that moment, the manager of Gbar happened to come out. Mr. George, what brings you here? I looked at him, repeated what had just happened, and then asked about my wife. Which private room is President Mary in? All right, President Mary is on the 3rd floor. Let me take you there. After I left, I heard Lily's female subordinate gasp in surprise beside her. Miss Lily. He's actually the hidden owner of Gbar. Reborn, I know all the future events that will happen. So I acquired the soon-to-be bankrupt Gbar in advance. This is a crime-prone location. Although I didn't become a police officer, I'm still willing to do my part, providing crucial information to the police. This can be considered as making up for the regrets of my past life. Yet I remained hidden behind the scenes, leading everyone to naturally assume I was an unemployed drifter. Judging a person by appearances is truly a common flaw in everyone. I followed the manager to the private room and saw my wife completely drunk. She was clutching a wine bottle, mumbling my name. George, George, I love you so much. I chuckled softly and walked over, pulling her into my arms. Your George is here. I took the wine bottle from her, and suddenly, as I lowered my head, I saw the rise and fall of her chest. My breath quickened, and then I took off my coat to drape it over her. George, do you love me? Her eyes shimmered with emotion, and I sighed helplessly before carrying her to the car. Once we got home, she kicked off her high heels and stepped barefoot onto the floor. She pulled me toward the 2nd floor of the villa. George, come here. I have a surprise for you. I had no choice but to follow her to a hidden corner of the house. As soon as the door opened, I froze. The room was filled with portraits of me. Some show me in high school uniform, others in the university library. There were even photos of me participating in the school sports day. What are these? My throat went dry, and my heartbeat suddenly quickened. Honey, tell me, what does this mean? I asked my wife again in a hoarse voice, lowering my head. She was dazed, but her eyes shone astonishingly bright. George, don't you remember? We knew each other before. That time you saved me. I remembered you for so long. My wife gestured a very long distance with her hands, then giggled foolishly. So George, I love you. I love you most in this world. Look at every painting here. I painted them all. I secretly watched you, memorized your appearance, and then secretly painted them. George, will you be angry? I'm like a mouse, sneaking little peeks into your life. But George, I can't help it. I just want to see you, to meet you, and to kiss you. With that, my wife tugged on my tie, stood on her tiptoes, and pressed a firm kiss against my lips. Her kiss was cautious, as if afraid of hurting me, testing the waters little by little. My mind felt like fireworks exploding, my heart pounding so hard it might leap out. I tightened my arms, deepening the kiss. Late at night, my wife was exhausted and fell asleep. I put my pajamas back on and walked to that studio. Every stroke in the displayed paintings is so meticulous. Even the mole on my face is depicted. Back when I was with Lily, she never noticed these details. Once, I had a mole on my neck, irregular in shape, the kind that looked like it could turn cancerous. I went to the hospital to have that mole removed. Lily glanced at the wound on my neck and asked indifferently, "How can someone your age still manage to get hurt on the neck? People who don't know might think I abused you and drove you to slit your own throat." See, this is the difference between love and its absence. I gently traced my fingers over the painting, then noticed a new artwork in the corner. It wasn't finished yet, but I could make out the outline of a family of 3. My wife and me, with a child cradled in our arms. After looking at it, I carefully, bit by bit, returned it to its original place. The next day, my wife seemed to avoid me after waking up. Her eyes were evasive, not daring to look at me at all. I chuckled to myself, then grabbed her hand as she was about to leave. Mary, Lily, and I are already a thing of the past. My future belongs only to you. I'm sorry for not giving you more sense of security, but I want you to know that I love you. Tears suddenly began to fall from my wife's eyes, one by one. Usually a domineering and glamorous female, she now cried uncontrollably in my arms like a little girl. I think this is what love is. This is the kind of love every man desires. Unique, with eyes and heart devoted solely to oneself. And how fortunate I am to have such love. Time quickly passed, and 3 days arrived. Tomorrow is my wedding ceremony with my wife. Because of the marriage customs in City H, my wife was forced to live separately. At night, I lay in bed listening to my wife cooing over the phone. "George, I'm so nervous. What should I do? Will I mess up tomorrow?" 2 sentences in a row, and I could hear the panic and fear in her voice. Who would have thought this was the renowned female CEO of H City? I laughed and comforted her. Then she let out a sob. "George, I'm going to hang up now. I need to sleep early tonight so I can look my best at the wedding tomorrow." After hanging up the phone, I was just about to turn off the lights and go to sleep when my phone rang again. Thinking it was my wife calling, I answered in a gentle tone. "What's wrong? Still missing me?" There was silence on the other end for a few seconds before someone spoke. "George, it's me. I'm Lily. I know you're getting married tomorrow, and I really want to see you. I'll be waiting for you on the bridge where we had our first date. George, I know you've also been reborn. Since you have memories of our past life, I don't believe you've truly let go of me. If you don't come, I won't leave." Lily is still so self-righteous. Or perhaps, in the past, I was always at her beck and call. But in this lifetime, it's different. I didn't go to the appointment, and even had a good night's sleep. The next day, at my wedding ceremony with my wife, I stood at one end of the red carpet waiting for her. She walked toward me step by step, wearing a pure white wedding dress with a radiant smile. For a second, I hallucinated. It was Lily walking toward me with a distorted expression. Her eyes were filled with resentment and pain, while my wife's eyes held deep affection and tenderness. "George, I entrust our daughter to you now. You must take good care of her." My father-in-law solemnly placed my wife's hand in mine. I took my wife's hand, still feeling dazed. Yet I saw her smiling mysteriously. "George, wait a moment." She clapped her hands with a laugh, and a photo appeared on the large screen behind me. It was a family portrait, and it were me, her parents, and my long-departed mom and dad. In that composite photo, my parents behind me were smiling brightly, dressed in police uniforms with their hands resting on my shoulders. Their eyes held a trace of determination, along with love and blessings for me. "George, this is a composite photo I made using pictures of our parents when they were alive. I know they passed away early, but I still want them to witness our wedding. I hope they can be with us, to take a family portrait together." My wife leaned gently against me. I don't know how to describe the happiness of that moment. Tears suddenly began to fall from my eyes. "George, don't cry." My wife tenderly stroked my face and carefully wiped away my tears. I laughed, a genuine laugh from the heart. "Mary, my wife, thank you." The wedding went smoothly. After we finished toasting together, I went to the restroom to wash my hands. Suddenly, I saw Lily in the mirror. "George, I waited for you all night last night. Why didn't you come?" In the mirror, Lily's face was ashen, her long hair a tangled mess. There was even vomit on her clothes. I calmly filled my hands with water to wash them, then walked straight out of the bathroom. She was crying and shouting behind me. "George, can you choose me firmly one more time?" "Huh, choose her firmly one more time?" She still remembers our wedding vows. When we first got married, I noticed her anxiety and unease. To ease her emotions, I sought help from many netizens online. They all said women are inherently insecure and need men to provide them with a sense of security. So, I said this one sentence in our wedding vows. I said that no matter what the future holds, I would always choose her without hesitation. What a pity. Hearing those words again feels like a lifetime ago. I've long moved on, yet she remains stuck in place. Lily, since you've chosen Tom, then please stand firm in your decision. My choice has always been Mary. It's her now, and it'll be her in the future. With that, I strode out. Lily said just one sentence. "George, Gbar is yours, right? Do you know about the black market dealings there? Your parents are police officers. I never expected you to take the path of crime. If you leave with me today, I won't report you to the police. Otherwise." Her voice was icy, carrying a hint of destruction, but I smiled where she couldn't see. Only those who deal with crime know exactly where crime exists. Even thought they had somehow gained some leverage or secret. I didn't agree to Lily's request, just made a call to a police contact after leaving. "Uncle Bob, we might need to delay pulling in our net. We might have missed a big fish." For the next few days, Lily didn't report me to the police. Just when I thought she was going to give up, I was arrested by the police. Mrs. Smith looked at me with a terrified expression. "Sir, what is going on here? Should I tell my wife?" I gave Mrs. Smith a smile and told her I'd be back soon. At the police station, Uncle Bob took me to his office. "You little rascal, you really made it look convincing. Aren't you afraid your wife will be scared?" I smiled helplessly. "Uncle Bob, isn't this about playing the long game to catch the big fish? I'm really sacrificing myself for the greater good here. Your police department better give me a proper commendation." After speaking, Uncle Bob patted me on the shoulder. "Don't worry, you won't be left out." I waited at the police station all morning before finally receiving news from Uncle Bob. This Lily and Tom have been quite secretive about what they've done. The way they got their start is deeply connected to the underground networks in the city. Through them, we can reel in a big fish. It was only then that I remembered, after Lily and Tom got together, their progress was alarmingly fast. Even if she knew about future opportunities, their development was still bizarre. Who would have thought she was actually involved in crime? I sighed inwardly, thinking Lily had brought this upon herself. waiting at the police station until evening. I had just finished eating at the station canteen when I saw Uncle Bob walk in with a delighted expression. "George, we did it. We've caught a big fish." He slapped me on the back, and I coughed helplessly a few times. Then I saw my wife standing at the door. Her hair was a bit disheveled, and her eyes were still bloodshot. "Honey, weren't you on a business trip?" I hadn't even finished speaking when she ran up and hugged me tightly. "George, you scare me to death. I thought something had happened to you." As soon as I got Mrs. Smith's call, I rushed back in a panic. She nuzzled her head against my neck. I helplessly stroked her hair. "I'm fine. It was just a little act between me and Uncle Bob, right?" "Uncle Bob." But Uncle Bob didn't give me a chance to answer. He tiptoed out of the room. As he closed the door, he made a gesture telling me to handle the situation wisely. I couldn't help but laugh in frustration, then had no choice but to lower my head and coax my CEO wife. But just as I was about to speak to her, I realized she had fainted. Her face was deathly pale, looking terrifying. "Mary? Honey, don't scare me like this." On the way to the hospital, holding my wife, I thought of countless possibilities. I'm afraid of losing her, afraid of being alone again. Sitting in the cold hospital corridor, I was reminded of the time I waited for my parents' results in the hospital. Every minute and every second was torment and pain. I was afraid the doctor would come out and tell me to accept their condolences. Who is Mary's family member? I rushed over in a panic, like a prisoner awaiting the death sentence. "Congratulations. You're going to be a father." The doctor happily patted my shoulder as he delivered the news. "What? I'm going to be a dad?" At this moment, I felt like I'd been hit by a pie falling from the sky. I'm actually going to be a dad. I was so excited, I didn't know what to do. Finally, my wife took my hand. "Silly you. We're going to have a baby. Are you happy?" My wife placed my hand on her belly. Even though I knew it was impossible to hear a heartbeat, I still pressed my ear against it. "We're going to have a baby." I repeated the words again, then looked nervously at my wife. "Mary, what should I do?" My wife couldn't help but laugh. "George, just be normal. Our child is quite resilient. I believe you'll definitely be a good father." Since finding out my wife was pregnant, I dared not hide anything from her. I was afraid she might get angry accidentally and harm her health. I also tried my best to help her with work-related matters. I even shared some information beneficial to the company based on memories from my past life. After learning about my abilities, my father-in-law discussed the company's future development with me on multiple occasions. "George, the younger generation is truly formidable. I believe the company will take another step forward under your and Mary's leadership, reaching the global stage." My father-in-law was uncharacteristically beaming with joy. A seasoned businessman like him rarely praises anyone. I accepted the compliment humbly and checked the time again. "Dad, it's getting late. I should take Mary for her prenatal checkup now." "Ha ha ha, all right. Hurry up and go. I'll find time to have a good talk with you later, son." My father-in-law patted me on the shoulder, smiling warmly as he watched me leave. After picking up my wife, we went to the hospital. I was waiting for her at the door for the prenatal checkup. Just as I sat down, my phone rang. It was Uncle Bob calling. "George, Lily wants to talk to you for a bit." I pursed my lips and stayed silent, but eventually agreed. "George, it's me, Lily. I'm about to go to prison. Will you come to see me?" "Ikudli, rapliano." She started talking to herself again. "Actually, I was happy after calling off our engagement with you. But the happiness didn't last long before I realized I wasn't happy at all. Tom is cowardly and selfish. After we got together, he only wanted to drain me of my usefulness. Then I thought of you, and I remembered every little moment from our 10 years of marriage. I remembered how good you were to me. I really regret it, George. I want to go back to how things were between us." I cut her off. "Lily, once a path is chosen, there's no turning back. You made your choice, and now you have to live with it. Goodbye, or maybe we shouldn't see each other again." After hanging up Lily's phone call, I felt unusually calm. I hadn't been sitting for long when I saw my wife walking over with a piece of paper. "George, our baby, look quickly. The doctor says it's twins." The paper in my wife's hand had 2 small shadows. Those were our children. The blood relatives I had long awaited. 8 months later, my wife gave birth to the babies. They were twins. One boy, one girl. The girl was chubby, not at all resembling the baby who had once been stuffed in a trash bag. And I also accidentally heard Uncle Bob mention Lily. Uncle Bob said she went crazy just a few months after entering prison. Every day she would scream my name and refuse to eat or drink. She even mistook a pillow for a child. She held on to that pillow every day. If anyone tried to take her pillow, she would frantically bite them. Just a few days ago, she died. Before she died, she still shouted loudly that she was going back. She wants to go back to how we were before. She cried and screamed that she regrets it. She wants to go back and make things right. Too bad, there's no chance left to fix anything. I just smiled after hearing it. Then I put down my glasses, turned off the computer, and walked into the bedroom. In the bedroom, my wife was sleeping peacefully in her nightgown, with our 2 children beside her. They are my present. You are my future.